Hello and welcome to my proposal. Today we're going to take a look at using technology to support assessment and differentiation. In this proposal, we'll take a look at differentiation and assessment and some of the technologies that can be used to support them. In fact, we'll take a look at 3 different technologies that may be useful in a classroom. We'll then drill down on one of those technologies as the best fit for your classroom. First off, differentiation. Teachers can differentiate in a number of ways. Teachers may differentiate content, process, products, the learning environment, use of assessment, and flexible grouping. Differentiation can happen in any number of ways in a classroom. It's up to the teacher to figure out what's the best for their class. According to Sparks, differentiated instruction is the process of identifying students' individual learning strengths, needs, and interests, and adapting lessons to match them. The question is, how do teachers identify these different items, learning strengths, needs, interests, and then adapt the lessons to match them? We're going to take a look at some tools in a little bit that will help teachers with this identifying process. One of the problems with differentiation, according to Bonde, Donkey, and Zusho, is that many teachers use a one-size-fits-all approach. Now what this means is many teachers think the differentiation is too hard, too difficult, too much work, and instead they're just going to teach to the middle or to the average student. They don't do anything for the high flyers, and they don't do anything for the low-level kids. If everybody just comes to the middle, those teachers are happy. But is that the best approach for teaching and for every kid? Differentiation in the classroom. This slide is from McCarthy in 2014. He has the 2 roles in the classroom, the teacher's role and then the student's role. The teacher's role is to present content, which is the knowledge and skills that students need. The process is the teacher figuring out and getting students to make sense of the content. And then the product/learning artifact are the items that the students create. And it's important to note here that this product, the learning artifacts in a differentiated classroom, should involve some sort of choice. Students should not have going back to the previous slide, a one-size-fits-all assignment. Students should have the option of producing a poster here or a presentation using Adobe Spark over there, just different choices. The student role, in a differentiated classroom is readiness, and this is where students, teaching and instruction should begin at the levels of the kids, of the students. Students come into your classroom at different levels. Interests is students having interests and lessons being designed to make connections to those interests so that student engagement goes up. And then finally is the learning profile, and this is just the different learners in a classroom. Assessment. Assessment is defined by dictionary.com as the act of assessing, appraisal, evaluation. Most people in education know that assessment, though, can have many different meanings to many different people. According to Black and William, an educational assessment is therefore a procedure for making inferences about student learning. And according to Bard et al., assessments are used to investigate what people know and can do, and to make decisions regarding whether they have learned what was expected. Assessment strategies. This is one of my favorite quotes. When the cook tastes the soup, that's formative. When the guest tastes the soup, that's summative. And that's from Robert Stack, coming from Shute and Kim, 2014. Summative assessment, according to Dixon and Worrell, that intend to capture what a student has learned or the quality of the learning and judge performance against some standards. Typically, your summative assessments will take place at the end of a unit. Formative assessment, according to Dixon and Worrell, activities undertaken by teachers and by their students in assessing themselves that provide information to be used as feedback to modify teaching and learning activities. So formative is used along the way, and it can guide the future instruction. And you might have several formative assessments per day. The role of technology in differentiation. It allows for a wide array of assessments. We're going to look at some of these assessments in just a few minutes. Allows teachers to incorporate a variety of strategies. Teachers are not limited to one or two things they can do in a classroom. With technology, there's all sorts of strategies they could possibly use. Allows for whole class, small group, and individual instruction. We're going to see in a few moments some of the tools that we're looking at. Allows teachers to really drill down and decide, hey, is this something we need to use for the whole class? Do we need to take just a small group and work with them? Or is this an individual issue? And then allows teachers to incorporate data into lesson planning. All the tools we're going to use breaks down data and allows teachers to make some decisions based on the data. The role of technology in assessment. According to Pellegrino and Quellmals, technology and assessment, 21st century approaches to assessment expand the potential for tests to both probe and promote a broad spectrum of human learning. Formative, quick decisions on lesson directions. So these are those day-to-day assessments, and they allow teachers to assess and then make a decision. Do I need to remediate? Do I need to move forward? As it says, it helps with differentiation. Based on the data that comes from these formative assessments, teachers may make the decision to differentiate. It can create game-like situations that plays back to those student interests that make learning more engaging. And it allows teachers to embed questions in the instruction. There's something called stealth assessment when the students don't even know they're doing a formative assessment. Summative assessment. Technology allows for access anywhere and anytime. Students can take summative assessments almost anywhere, especially classroom assessments. Standardized tests are a little bit different. Accessibility for all students. Technology allows students to of all sorts, whether it's special ed, regular ed, ESOL, whatever it might be, to take tests. You have technology that allows for text-to-speech, to make the screen larger. All sorts of accessibility issues are solved through technology. And then measure complex knowledge and inquiry. So technology allows for more than just multiple choice questions, according to Clark, Madura, and Deed. The three tools we're going to look at are Quizalize, Quizzes, and GoFormative. Quizalize is a classroom quiz game. It is a website. It's also an app that can be downloaded. Teachers can create or use pre-made quizzes. So you can create your own, or they do have a searchable library. Students can access the quiz from the web, so they just have to be connected. It allows for formative and summative uses. Teachers can track data, and it allows for differentiation as teachers use the data that they've been tracking to make quick decisions. Quizzes is similar. It's an online assessment tool. It's another game-like app product. It creates multiple choice quizzes. As it says, their bright colors and fun music creates that game-like atmosphere, which students tend to like. It does have formative and summative assessment uses, and then it allows for differentiation. And then finally is GoFormative. GoFormative is another web-based student response and assessment tool. Upload or create assessments. Students can type, record audio, enter numbers, draw answers. It has summative and formative uses, data tracking, and it allows for differentiation. I did choose GoFormative for what I thought would be the best. It allows for multimedia lessons. You can not only just type in questions, but you can also embed almost anything from the web, whether you use pictures, video, whatever it might be. There's a draw tool students can use if they're using a smart device. They can use the tool to draw with their fingers or a stylus. So this would be good for math where they're having to show their work. Access and provide feedback in real time. Teachers are able to watch and view what's going on with their students. Identify struggling students. So because they can see in real time who's struggling with a question, teachers can identify very quickly what's going on. Track student progress towards mastery. All you have to do is input your standards, and then you can track your students. Create or search pre-made formatives, and then integration with learning platforms such as Google Classroom. And you can see my references here. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Take care and have a good evening.